We are starting to get to that time of year again where players in the clubs are looking at making decisions with regards to their futures as players' current contracts are getting close to expiring. In today's video, we have an interesting update with regards to a Rangers star who is close to sealing new terms. Not only that, but we will also go over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Gerard is reportedly on a 3-man shortlist of English coaches the FA would like to replace Gareth Southgate in the future. The former Rangers manager is currently the subject of speculation about becoming the new England under-21s boss. According to The Telegraph, Lee Carsley, who is in that position at the moment, will consider leaving his role in the summer. And their report states that 3 English coaches, including Gerard, have been suggested as potential replacements, with a view to eventually filling Southgate's shoes with the A-team. Frank Lampard and Scott Parker are the other 2 names who have been put forward by the FA. Gerard has been out of work in football since he was sacked by Aston Villa in October. The Liverpool legend has recently been linked with a move to Turkey with Trabzonspor. The English FA need to think about a succession plan for the England manager Southgate, and the prospect of hiring Lampard or Gerrard in the event of Carsley leaving could be appealing. However, with regards to the latter, his wage could be a major stumbling block, given his earnings at Rangers and Aston Villa. The report suggests that Gerrard would also have to accept a salary for lower than the ones paid by his previous clubs. It remains to be seen whether Gerard would view the under-21s as the ideal next step for his managerial career. Just a quick one before we get back into the video guys, we've released our brand new merchandise. We've got our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts, along with our Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Rangers have dismissed suggestions that Nnamdi Ameobi is no longer contracted to the club after he broke his silence on his fitness nightmare. The former Bournemouth midfielder is yet to kick a ball for the Light Blues and has spent 2 years out of action due to a serious heart issue. But speculation online that he has been released by Rangers is wide off the mark as the club continue to seek specialist advice in the United Kingdom and Europe to help Ameobi return to action and kickstart his career. Ameobi's last outing came in March 2021 as he stepped off of the bench to play the final 12 minutes of Wycombe's win at home to Preston North End in the Championship. His career was put on hold just a week later as Gerard revealed a red flag in a heart test during his first pre-season at Ibrox. Ameobi didn't make an appearance under Gerard's guidance and is yet to feature during Michael Beale's reign after missing all of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's tenure in the dugout. The 23-year-old addressed his long-term standing issue for the first time in several months with a series of posts on his Instagram account on Sunday evening. Ameobi posted pictures of him in a hospital bed and hooked up to a monitor and wrote, 2 years, 2 operations, hundreds of appointments, before a second message read, silent on the situation so I look like the bad guy and all the mistreatment of the last 2 years will come out. Ameobi still has 2 years left on his Rangers contract, but he faces an uncertain future at Ibrox as boss Beale prepares an overhaul in the squad during the summer transfer window. Beale was asked about the Nigerian youth internationalist in January and said Nnamdi's situation is still with the specialist, and as you can imagine with that sort of situation the staff here aren't experts. It's something you need to get a real opinion on. He's been able to do some physical activity, but the case and duty we've got in this one is really big. I'm up to speed with all that there is, a bit of privacy in this case. Scott Arfield is said to be close to agreeing new terms at Rangers as his current deal is set to expire at the end of the season. Reports have emerged that the club and player are expected to agree an extension, and Arfield has informed friends that he'll be staying in Glasgow next season. Former Rangers star Alan Hutton had this to say on Scott Arfield. He'll be a squad player. It's no slay on him, he has done unbelievably well for Rangers, and he is that one player that gives you something a little bit different, those runs from midfield in behind. He has come up with some important goals in big moments, so it does not surprise me that they are rewarding him with a new contract. He will be a great squad player. Craig Levine reckons Scottish football would thrive if Celtic and Rangers headed to the Premier League, with a 9-figure caveat. The former Hearts boss admits he'd love to see Ange Postecoglou and Michael Beale's sides join the top flight down south, so long as it all benefited the Scottish game. While stopping short of the suggestion that is the worst Scottish top flight ever, Levine did state that this is the least competitive league in Europe. The ex-Scotland manager has a simple solution, even by his own admission it is unlikely, should Rangers and Celtic receive a Premier League call. On the current state of the Scottish game, Levine told the Daily Record, "I hesitate to say if this is the poorest top flight because I need to see all the facts and figures from down the years. But what I would say is we've probably got the least competitive league in Europe. And the problem are the same as they were 20 years ago when my Hearts side finished third by whatever point gap you mention is financial." Levine continued to table his Premier League theory as he suggested Celtic and Rangers could be called upon to add some spice to the English top division. The extreme hypothetical could be a win-win for both the Glasgow clubs, but also Scottish clubs should a financial kickback be received, Levine theorised. He called on Celtic and Rangers to take the opportunity, if presented, but urged a £100 million payment to Scottish clubs for the privilege of heading to the riches of the Premier League. In Levine's mind, it would see Celtic and Rangers improve in a new setting, while leaving 7 or 8 clubs challenging for the title in Scotland. He said Joe Savage wants to split the old firm, and that's great, it's a good ambition to have. But having that and making it happen is two completely different things. My views are very straightforward. When the next financial crisis happens in the Premier League in England, and they're looking for something different, then I would absolutely drive the old firm down there myself. I would love the two to then play in England and represent Scotland, get the money that's associated with that, which would allow them to grow and be competitive in that league. And at the same time, if they gave the teams in Scotland £50 million a year, so a combined £100 million for allowing them to move down there, that would allow the Scottish game to grow immeasurably. It's a bit of a pipe dream maybe, but I can't see any other way of Scottish football being as competitive as everyone wants it to be. If the old firm were playing in England and paying for the privilege, and they wouldn't miss £50 million each, then all the other teams up here would raise their levels significantly. Then you have a level in Scotland where you could see 7 or 8 clubs challenging for the title. Scottish football would thrive. Rangers fans, do you think it is the right decision that Scott Arfield should get a new contract? And what do you make on Craig Levine's words? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we've released our brand new Graham Souness Tim Scalping tees, along with our brand new Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. They're now available on our website. Just go down into the link in the description, or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.